As any good builder worth his salt will tell you, the structure of a house is only as strong as the foundations upon which it's built. I was fortunate enough a week last Sunday to be at the WRU EGM, where CEO Martin Phillips spoke about a monumental shift and change. He likened us all to being one side in the changing rooms of the Principality Stadium, ready to step out on the field, and he asked, in an inspirational way I might add, who was going to follow him. Well now, Mr. Phillips, it's time to be true to your word and support grassroots rugby. Get behind the boys, invest, not just financially, but in the people that give up their time and hard work to ensure that the future of Welsh rugby is kept great. Welcome to this Gumpy's Grassroots Roundup exclusive. Now, it was as a result of that speech that Martin Phillips gave to the Union at the AGM in 2018 that gave birth to the Community Game Board. We then, at the Vale of Glamorgan, put our faith in the Welsh Rugby Union, and it's time that they repaid that faith. But let's rewind somewhat. In the summer of 2017, the Welsh Rugby Union conducted a survey of all the clubs in Wales, relating to how they can better serve the community game. The findings of that survey touched on the community funding model, or otherwise known as the audit. In a letter referenced from the chairman Gareth Davis in January of 2018, he mentioned that very audit. We undertook a survey asking the relevance of the information we request and what should be added or removed from the audit submissions. The outcome of the survey was that the clubs felt the audit information was relevant and that they were comfortable in submitting the information required. Those are the words of Gareth Davis, the chairman of the Welsh Rugby Union, and by their own admission, the old audit, or the old community funding model, the clubs seemed more than happy with. Now, with the new community funding model audit, the system suffered several crashes whilst the clubs were trying to input the information, which does beg the question, were there any data breaches and where did that information go in the end? The deadline for submissions was indeed put back on numerous occasions as the clubs struggled with the new system. When the submissions for the new audit were finally complete and the points were awarded thereafter, over 180 clubs around Wales appealed the decision. Nonetheless, the Community Game Board decided to press ahead. Then, in November of last year, at the AGM, I myself got up and spoke amongst other delegates representing other clubs around Wales to express our concerns regarding this new community funding model. The union didn't answer our questions that day, and we're still waiting for answers. On the 17th of December last year, the Community Game Board held a meeting where they decided to press ahead and keep this new audit against the better interests of the club. Now, these are the people that are voted in by the clubs to represent the best interests of the clubs, and they are not fulfilling that duty. In January of this year, the vital funding figures on the back of that new audit were finally released. And clubs, smaller village and valley clubs, have lost up to 85% of their funding. Now, these are clubs that have been loyal servants to the game of rugby union in Wales, some for as long as 140 years. And quite frankly, this is unacceptable. By their own volition and admission, the Welsh Rugby Union and the Community Game Board have recognised the faults in this new audit and have therefore called a series of consultation meetings with the clubs. I myself will be going to one of those meetings on Tuesday the 18th of February when this vlog airs. But we, the clubs, now need to make this decision for them, a decision that they seem incapable of making by themselves for the better interests of the community game in Wales. And that is why we have got the 10% required under Regulation 30 of the Articles of Association, the rules by which the Welsh Rugby Union govern themselves, to trigger an extraordinary general meeting. There will be one motion on the agenda at that EGM, and the motion is very simple. It is as follows: to rescind the decision of the Community Game Board dated the 17th of the 12th, 2019, wherein they resolved to implement a new funding model or new audit to replace the previous season's old audit and to reinstate the old audit forthwith, and that the final instalment of the WRU development grant is calculated and paid in accordance with the old audit and not by any reference to the new audit. Now, under those very Articles of Association, the Welsh Rugby Union have 21 days to convene and call that EGM. I am asking you, the fans of the community game of rugby union in Wales, whether you're a committee member, a player, a coach, a volunteer or a supporter, to share this video, to get in touch with your club delegates and to ask them to attend that EGM, and for the future of the community game in Wales to vote this through, to stand shoulder to shoulder with every club in Wales. And lastly, I would like to offer a sincere apology to Wayne Pivach, his coaching staff and the entire squad of the national side for the timing of this. The Welsh Rugby Union and the Community Game Board have had plenty of time to sort this out, as it's been ongoing since the summer of 2019. Unfortunately, it seems that it will be finishing now around the end of the Six Nations tournament. But mark my words, and I'm sure Liam Williams, Wan Aloydd, Alan Wyn-Jones, Bonamine, Owen Watkins, Bryn Cethin will support their community clubs, and that is why we must all gather together and, in the best interests of the community game in Wales, push this motion through. Thank you very much. Diolch yn fawr.